Over the past few years, one of the things in the community that I've been concerned about and heard a lot about is payday lending, and especially the impact that it has on the poor in our community. Lloyd's been working on payday lending with Omaha Together One Community for several months now, a lot over the past 2 years. And before we get started explaining it, one of the things, Lloyd, that I noticed from the last time I was with a meeting to you is when they divided the city. I think it was like Dodge and
84th Street.
Dodge and 84th Street. That there, if you divide that quadrant, Dodge and 84th, in all four quadrants of the city, they're the same, roughly the same number of payday lending outlets. So that we can't just say that this is a problem for folk in North Omaha or South Omaha or East or West. That every quadrant.
Yes, that is true. That they're roughly divided, so it's a problem that exists in all parts of the city. It's not east of 72nd Street or east of 42nd Street. They go all the way out to 191st and Q Street.
191st and Q.
Yeah.
Wow.
So more than likely, no matter where you live, you drive by a payday lender at some point. Maybe you haven't noticed it, maybe you have, but they're out there.
Yeah. Lloyd, would you just take a moment to kind of roughly explain, just help some about payday lending? Help us out for those of us who don't know anything about it at all.
Well, what payday lending is, we call it payday lending as though it's a loan, but it's actually a delayed deposit agreement. Somebody needs money and they don't have the cash in their savings, and so what they do is they take a copy of their paycheck to show that they're working, have income, and they go into a payday lending facility and write out a check, and for a fee, the payday lender will give them cash for that check and agree to hold it until their next payday.
Okay.
And so if the idea being that if next payday they'll have the money and then they can pay off the loan, what really happens is that people don't have money today, they don't have it the next payday, and so what happens is they pay another fee to continue that loan on. And studies have shown that nationwide, and it's true here in Nebraska as well, that people roll those loans over about 10 to 11 times.
Okay.
And we're talking about 2-week increments. So,
2-week increments.
So we're looking at about 6 months.
Okay. So in a bit we'll show how that works. Why do people go to payday lenders? Why not use other sorts of opportunities to get cash or get a loan?
Well, there's a variety of reasons. A lot of people have jobs where they can't easily get off work to go get cash for an unexpected event, or it could be that something comes up in the evening, and these places are open in the evening, and so they find it convenient. A lot of people don't have a strong relationship with a lender, a financial institution, or they simply can't get approved.
Gotcha. We were talking a little bit before and just about that this has been a problem for years, but now coming out of the COVID virus time, with what that might be like afterwards, just how many more people are going to be under pressure, and after they're getting their first paycheck back, needing these loans more.
Right. Going into this pandemic, we know that there were a number of studies by various groups. The one that sticks in my mind is the one that was done by the Federal Reserve several years ago that showed that 40% of American adults could not come up with $400. And so if something, your car breaks down, you need it to get to work, and you don't have money in your savings, and you don't have a choice but to go to a payday lender to get your vehicle fixed so that you can get to work.
Okay.
And there's a variety of things that come up unexpectedly, that people find that it's just more convenient and easy to go into one of these payday lenders, not really knowing exactly what they're getting into.
Gotcha. So it seems simple, but then it becomes a trap.
Right.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a moment and just kind of act it out, and then we can
Okay.
talk more about that.
Sure.
So I'll need. I know more about needing money than loaning money. So you loan the money, and I'll be the one needing it.
Okay.
So I need to get $300 because my car broke down. I need brakes and I need some other stuff, and I have $350, but the bill's going to be $650. How can I get $300?
Well, you write a check out for $353, and I will give you cash for $300, and I'll hold the check
Okay.
until you get paid next time in 2 weeks.
Okay. So 353. So, and you're going to give me $300. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to give you, you've written a check for $353,
Okay.
and I'm going to give you $300, and then I'll agree to hold this until you get paid again, and then you come in here and give me the $300, and I'll give you the check back. So
Okay. So in 2 weeks,
in 2 weeks, yeah.
I got to bring you $300 back,
$300, yeah.
and you're going to cash my check.
Right.
Okay.
I'll give the check back to you. Otherwise, I'll cash it, yeah, if you don't come back.
Okay.
Okay, so 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300. So there's your $300. So now you can go get your car fixed.
I can go get my car fixed, and in 2 weeks, I have to bring you back $300.
Bring $300, the $300 that I just gave you, and I'll give you this check back.
Okay, and I won't have to pay you $53.
You'll have to pay me $53. Yeah, you'll have to bring $353. Excuse me, $353 to get this check back.
All right, I'll do that. Okay. All right, so now we wait. It's 2 weeks down the road, and I'm coming back to, I'm coming back. So, they couldn't get my car fixed like right away, so I had to miss a couple days of work. I don't have $353, but I can't. You can't cash the check because I don't have that much in my account. What can I do?
Well, what we can do is you can pay me another $53 now, and we'll roll it over for another 2 weeks, and then when you get paid again, you can come back and pay the $353.
Okay. So if I give you $53, you don't cash the check.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here's $53.
Okay, so there's $53. You're good for another 2 weeks, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. So we wait another 2 weeks, and I'm back. I've been really trying, but my child got sick. I don't have $353. I got an extra $50. Can I pay you $50?
No, I got to have the $353 or nothing. You can pay me $53, and we'll do another 2 weeks.
But nothing comes off the bill.
No, nothing comes off the bill. I either you pay me in full or another $53, and we'll roll it over for 2 more weeks.
Well, I don't have $300 to pay you. I got 53. I got 103. I could give you 50 and 53, but I'll just give you 53 more bucks.
53.
Okay. Here's 53 more dollars.
Okay. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. So we wait another 2 weeks. I guess I'm gonna have to pay you $53 again because I don't have $300.
Yeah, that's fine.
So just give you
perfectly okay with that. Just give me another 53 and we'll keep it going.
Okay, you won't. All right, 53 more bucks. Okay. All right. Whoops, that's too much. 53 more bucks.
Okay, 53. All right, we're good. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Marshall.
Okay, 2 more weeks. So, if I listen to you right, Lloyd, this happens on average 10 times.
That's correct.
Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of break, and we'll get the 10 times out here. So now it's been 20 weeks, just over 6 months since I first walked into your office to get a loan.
Right.
But luckily, this summer I got some extra time. I did some odd jobs for folks in the neighborhood, and I finally have the $300. So here's the $300 that I can pay you. And the final $53.
Right.
Okay. So now we're good?
We're good.
I can have my check back?
You can have your check back.
Alrighty. So Lloyd, tell me what just happened.
Well, you've paid $585 because of the original 53 that you paid. You paid
No, I paid. So all the money I paid just to be able to borrow I had to pay you the $300 back.
Right.
And then
you had to pay $353 back.
Right.
Plus the 10. So you had $530 plus the 53. So you paid $583.
$583. So it's not just all these ones that I had to get here. Even when I paid you back finally the $300, I had to pay you another $53.
Right, to get the check back.
To get the check back. So I have paid you
$1,153.
I paid you $53 11 times for $583 in order to get a $300 loan for 6 months.
That's correct.
Okay.
And that's the typical scenario that people find themselves in.
This is average. There are people who pay more than $530 for a $300 loan, or $583.
There are, and some are substantially more.
So let's just part of it is a response to some other things in our lives, and with this coronavirus. Cindy and I just went and let's do it this way. If I'd have had a credit card, and could have put $300 on my credit card for 6 months, how much would it have cost me in general?
It would have been about $21 for this period of time, figuring like 18% credit card.
So if I had an 18% credit card, I could have borrowed $300 for $21.
Yeah.
Okay. Cindy and I just, in the last week, because of some other things we're doing and because of the coronavirus, we wanted a safety net. So we went and applied for a home equity line of credit on our house. Mm-hmm. Okay. It happens to be at 4%. If I would have borrowed $300 for 6 months at that 4%, about how much would I have paid?
About $5.
So, what you're saying is this, if I'm listening right, that people who have some resources like me, if I need to get $300, I can get $300 for 6 months, and it costs me $5.
Right.
Or if I don't have quite as much resources as I have, but I got a credit card, I can get $300 for 6 months for $21.
Right.
But if I'm like 40% of the Americans, if I want $300 for 6 months and I happen to go to a payday lender, it costs me $583.
That's correct. And what this really turns out to be is more in the area of about 400% interest compared to 18% or 4%.
Okay. So now, you work for a credit union.
Yeah.
How come you don't charge this much?
Well, there are laws that prevent us from doing this. See, this is not a loan. This is a delayed deposit agreement. When you wrote the check to me, I agreed not to deposit that check into my account so it wouldn't clear your account. It has nothing to do with the laws that are on the books regarding loans.
So the usury law that protects the general public from being charged an exorbitant amount of interest doesn't apply because we never made a loan agreement. We just made an agreement that you wouldn't cash my check.
That's correct.
So why should I care? Because I'm gonna go get my $300 for $5. Why should I care?
Well, I think we care because we're finding out in this pandemic, for one thing, is that we're just incredibly connected to people that we didn't know we were connected to at all. Grocery store workers, truck drivers, various people in our society that are living day to day, paycheck to paycheck. And that influences, their well-being affects our well-being. Plus, as people of faith, we know that we are called to care about other people.
Right. There's this piece of scripture that one of the prophets says he's taking on the people who live in Jerusalem, and he's being quite critical of them, saying that they will take, they eat other people's food and they take other people's clothes. The last thing. Well, there was this law in Judaism that you had to give a person had to be able to have their coat back by night to be able to go to sleep, to cover themselves. So you couldn't hold a person's coat. And the prophet is accusing folk that they've taken the shirt off the other person's back, so to speak. And the prophet's reminding them of how that just destroys their community, that is not the way they are to act to each other when they're in covenant. And for me, that's this. We just keep going after the most vulnerable for more and more and more.
Yes, this is an incredible trap. There was a bill in the unicameral back in 2017 that would have dealt with this situation. And there was a woman that testified in the committee hearing on that, and she got stuck into this. And she went through this $53 for 8 years, which turned out to be about $10,000 for that $500 that she wanted to borrow originally. Now, why she didn't stop somewhere before that is, beyond me, but that payday lender made just an incredible amount of money on her.
Yeah.
Now, that's an extreme case, but it just shows you that people get into this trap and they don't know how to get out.
Right.
And it's bad enough to get into it for a 5-6 month period, but some go much longer than that.
I had a conversation with a guy who, he's a professional, and he really didn't want to tell the story the first time. He was kind of embarrassed by it, but he needed insulin, and he was moving. He was kind of, he had one job, but he was headed towards another job, and he needed to get his medicine, and so he went to a payday lender just to get by for a bit, and got stuck in it for about 6 months.
Yeah. And not only will people go to one payday lender and get this going, but sometimes people will go to 2 or 3 or 4, and they'll have, several going at the same time.
Okay, so what's being done about it? What can we do about it?
Well, we tried to get legislation passed in the unicameral to deal with this that would cap the interest on this at 36%. And there was a good bill that was introduced back in 2017 that would have capped it at 36%. Fees couldn't be any more than 50% of the loan amount, and the payment would have been no more than 5% of someone's gross income. We strongly supported that. in the process that the unicameral goes through, all of those things got stripped out of it. One of the things that we did get in that bill, which did finally pass, was that the banking department is to issue an annual report, and we've had 2 of those issued now, so that we know that the first report showed that people, on average, Nebraskans were paying 404%. The second report showed it at 387%, so it's right around 400% that people are paying. Pretty consistent. Both reports showed that about 52,000 Nebraskans are involved in this, and the average loan amount is $300. So we gave the unicameral an opportunity to fix this problem, and they didn't do it. They stripped down the really good things, because this is still going on, this scenario that we just laid out here on the table. And since then, in the current session of the unicameral, there have been bills introduced, one that would allow for online payday lending to Nebraskans, and the other would increase it from a maximum of $500 to $1,000. So that's going in the wrong direction. So there is now a coalition of a number of organizations, OTOC being one of them, that is behind a ballot initiative to put this on the ballot in November, to cap the interest rate on these loans at 36%. We're optimistic that we will be successful in collecting enough signatures to get that on the ballot. And we're hoping that if we get it on the ballot, it will pass. Because we know the polls show that people don't really like this type of scenario that
Right.
plays out.
So even at 36%, that's $42, because
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna
double.
be- yeah, right.
It's double what that is.
Yeah. So that's still pretty high. And most of us aren't going to be very happy with borrowing money at 36%, but
Right.
you know, it's much better than 400%.
Gotcha. Well, so if people have other questions about this, want to know, again, why should the church care? Why is this important to us? One of the things that gets asked of me a lot are people who don't financially support the church. Now, I don't think the majority of the folk who don't financially support the church have payday loans. I don't think that's true, but there are some, and there are folk who have payday loans that they don't wear a sign on their head that says I have a payday loan. Yeah. There are people who have full-time jobs. There are people who have who have homes and families.
Sure.
They just get trapped.
Yeah, as we started this presentation out, we know that these payday lenders are in all parts of town.
Right.
And you have to have a job in order to get one of these. So it is affecting people that you maybe would be surprised to know who's actually using these payday lenders.
Yeah, so this isn't a handout. I'm working.
Yeah, you have to work, yeah. If you don't come in and show some proof of income, you're not going to get a payday loan because they want to get paid back.
Gotcha. Lloyd, thank you. Thank you for your interest in this. Is there anything else what else do you know that you don't think I know that I really ought to know?
Well, the only thing that I would say to wind this up is that we're hopeful that this will be on the ballot in November, and we would encourage people to vote for this legislation.
Okay. Because it's a moral issue.
It is definitely a moral issue.
Gotcha.
We've allowed this system to grow, and there are people in our society that are living within this system, and it's a burden on them.
Yeah.
And this money, that we've laid out on the table, could go towards, food for a family or clothing for the kids. The average borrower is a single mother, and so there's a lot of strain on those kind of families.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other uses for this money than to go to some payday lender.
Right. because it takes, I mean, even people that own businesses would be interested in supporting this, because it's better to have that $530 spent at, for food, for groceries, or for, a night out at a restaurant, or probably wouldn't be the car that I would really like, but, $530, you can take some of that and begin a monthly payment on a car. You could do, that'd be a really little car, but,
Lots of things with it.
Anyway. Well, thank you. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you.